In the next couple minutes, I am going to share out my entire journey, like the exact blueprint, the exact process that I followed to earn my first 1 lakh online while being in college. The story goes back to 2018. So imagine this, you are sitting in a classroom with 40 other people, the lecture of financial management is going on, and the irony and the strange part is that none of the 40 people who are being taught are having any kind of finance in their life, but still they are dealing with this balance sheet of thousands and crores and all that stuff. Okay, so before, just a heads up, I was neither a front bencher nor a back bencher, and I guess majority of you can relate with me because most of us are the middle benchers. So I'm not the guy who used to score 90 plus, or neither I'm the guy who used to score like below 50. I was always between the 70 to 80 range, and that's where the most of the people that I have met are in that range. Well, after the lecture got over, and in college, literally who studies in college? It's just a delusion that you study in college. It's actually for experiences, in my opinion, with a little bit of study as an incentive. So, after coming from the college at home around 6 or 7 p.m., I stumbled on a video. If I'll be able to find it out now, I'll just put it in right here. I watched that video and I came across this world of freelancing, and I had no clue that this particular video is gonna change the entire career trajectory of mine. So for the next 2 days, I literally binge watched everything related to freelancing on that particular channel. I got exposure to this industry that I had no clue about. Well, watching that content for 2 days straight for literally 10 plus hours made me a master in theory. So theoretically, I knew everything about freelancing, but practically, I knew nothing. So it was like I had a Ferrari, but I didn't even knew how to start it once I sat onto the driver's seat. So what I did, I actually sat into the driver's seat and I started reading, consuming a lot of content, and exposing myself to this world of online publication. Once I started reading all these articles and blogs and all that stuff, so everything was good until there. Till the time, then I started watching the videos again, and everyone was like, build a portfolio, have a portfolio, build your own sample proof work or something like that. Like something that tells the other person that you did this thing. And I was a genius at that time. So what I did was I took out 10 or 12 ranking articles. Ranking articles, okay, not even the ones on the dead pages like 8th, 9th, or 10th page of Google search. No, the first page. I went on to them, I did Control C, Control V into my Google Doc, and I started applying to jobs. That particular day, I came to know that not only downloading movies from torrent is illegal and unethical, but copy pasting somebody else's content from their website and showing it as yours, that is also a form of plagiarism. Well, it's funny that I actually thought that it's gonna work out. I am going to make a lot of money by just copy pasting content. But I was so wrong on so many levels, I know that. Well, then what? I just deleted those copied documents, and at those days I didn't had any Google Drive or a Medium link or my own personal website. And I just kept on applying with these small 1 or 2 docs that I had personally written on platforms like Internshala, Indeed, Shine. If that company still exists, there was a company named Shine.com, that as well. But nothing happened. Nothing, literally nothing. Heard back from none, even after applying to 50, 60 people. And hold up, I missed an important part. The resume. Because beginners are supposed to provide resume even in the freelancing industry. And I was that guy by that particular time. The only thing that I knew about resume was that my seniors are making something like this, that like something like called a resume that they are making in order to be placed and be eligible for sitting in the placements. That's all. That's the most I knew about resume. This is 6.5 years back, so no judging, okay? No judging. Telling you again, no judging. I tried watching a lot of resume making videos on YouTube and got back in 2018 as well. There were shit tons of videos about making a resume, but I couldn't make one. Maybe I was dumb or something else. So I asked one of my seniors in college that, show me what this resume thing is. Like, let me know what it is. And God, that was a long sheet of paper. Honestly, if I looked at that resume now, I would literally smash my head and my senior's head. It was that crappy. Now I know it. Earlier I didn't. In my senior's resume, the first impression that I had was like, this is a page of lie. Like, this guy is running from the dean's office to the principal's office for his short attendance and absence in college, and his core skill set is punctuality. And no, before you jump on to the conclusion that I would have again copy pasted resume, I didn't, because I was too naive that I thought that there might be a flag check for resumes too. So I tried making mine after seeing that resume. My resume legit finished in half page because I had done nothing that I could put into that resume. And being a class representative doesn't count in my opinion, and playing under 19 tennis isn't anywhere related to writing, so it didn't made any sense to put in there as well. Fast forward 2 weeks after I created my highly tailored half-page resume, I applied to 135 jobs. I knew this thing because I maintain a diary from a very long time. I have this habit of just summing up my day before I go to bed. 135. 87 rejected. Like, imagine getting rejected on Internshala. Of 87 rejected. And rest didn't even opened. The status wasn't even viewed on the platform. Like, that was the case. I was absolutely pissed at this particular moment because it has been over 1 month. I created a resume. I tried making a portfolio that I miserably failed in. And after applying to almost 150 plus job postings, I am not getting anything. So I wasn't pissed that I didn't landed a job. I was pissed that I didn't even knew what I was doing wrong the whole time. So when I had a word with my friends regarding this thing, they were like, why do you want to earn at such a young age? Let's enjoy. Let's go bowling. Let's go to Epicuria. Let's go to a cafe. However, I realized what I was doing wrong. And if you want to know that, just drop the fire emoji in the comment section and I'll make a separate video on it, that what I actually did wrong during this time. And it's not that I didn't try Upwork and Fiverr. Like, the reason I say that freelancing sites you should try on your own and see that whether they work for you or not is just this the same. I tried Upwork and Fiverr in the initial days. I kept my rate at $5 per hour. Like, $5 to write 1,000-word article. That's like 400 rupees for 1,000-word article. And at even that price tag, no one was ready to get me on board. And this thing continued for 2 or 3 weeks straight up. So neither I was hearing from the mediator platforms like Internshala, Shine, neither these Upwork, Fiverr and freelancing sites were working for me. So being a first year student, I just did what any other first year student would have done. I simply left everything and started enjoying the life which my colleagues were having, which my friends were having, not colleagues. What has happened to you, Vaibhav? God damn it. One sudden day, when I was not thinking about anything and I was just roaming around in the park nearby my house, this one simple thought occurred that I didn't had a very good phone at that time. So my phone was like, I usually didn't used it that much. So my major day was in offline interactions and then spending time with my own self without these devices. Initially, from the very beginning, I'm not very active on social media. And that particular time, I realized that I could also reach out to other people rather than applying on these platforms. Like, somebody is posting on these platforms as well, right? So why don't I just directly reach out to that person? I started Googling about it. And on YouTube, I found the particular term for it. And that's where I came to know about outbounds. So that's when my small brain realized that instead of me reaching out to Internshala and other aggregators, other mediators in between, why don't I just simply start pitching to these giant corporations through email or any other social media platform? What if I eliminate these guys from the middle? Like, I don't go to Shine, I don't go to Indeed, I do not go to Internshala. I just simply reach out to a person working in a big organization. And that was like smart, Vaibhav, very smart. And that's where my outbound strategy and my outbound journey, it got its birth. This was the inception moment. This was where everything started. My cold pitching, initially, I'm telling you, my cold pitching was so pathetic. It was so dramatic, traumatic, anything that ends with TIC. It was literally pathetic. And it took me 21 days or maybe 23 or 24. It was more than 3 weeks to get my first reward. And the first reward, it was not very good reward. It was an automated reward that said that Unfortunately, we cannot process with your application at this moment and all that kind of blabber. We wish you all the best future endeavors. Keep an eye on our career opening position and all that stuff. Which in my case, I haven't seen any company that said that put and keep an eye on our career page and then they are just gonna hire you for another role. That hasn't happened in my experience so far. But after 5-10 days of all these things, like typically a month would have passed with this outbound strategy, I finally got a client from the beauty industry, something that I literally have no clue about. I'm that guy, I don't have a skincare routine, I do not apply anything on my face. I just know that you have to use shampoo and you have to use soap. That's my skincare routine. So that kind of guy, and I'm working with a beauty company, beauty and cosmetic, to be really specific. We were like I was creating content, Amazon SEO and all that stuff for serum, vitamin C, vitamin E, things that I had no clue about. I was doing the SEO writing, Amazon SEO writing for that. Well, this is another story. Like the beauty and cosmetic client I had, this was an agency. So they simply asked me that what you have to do is just have to write down good things about our products, tell the people, put it in Amazon SEO and all that stuff, that why our product is the best. And for this, they sent me a sample task of 3000 words. Let me correct. 3000 words sample to be completed in 36 hours. And guess what I did? Me being desperate to land a client, I did that work in 8 hours. I sent it. And from there, I got my first lesson that speed matters, your turnaround time matters, because they liked it and they specifically pointed it out that you did it at the earliest. And this was a test. 36 hours was the max deadline. I was the only guy who went in there with 8 hours. So, despite my work not being very good, because of my turnaround time, I got the gig. And that's how I landed my first client for content writing. And of course, like when I joined in, my experience wasn't that good because anything that I write, it went to the editors as usual. That like this is the usual way how it operates. Right? It goes to the editor. The editor makes so many changes that by the time the initial draft, that the ugly initial draft that I sent, by the end when it gets published, even I am like, man, who has written this? This is so good. And I was the one who was writing the initial draft. So it felt like a victory, but at the same time, it was like I'm doing something and this person is literally breaking and molding all the stuff that I'm writing, and then it's happening. So I wasn't feeling that much satisfied there. But still, I was learning a few things, and 3000 rupees a month is a lot when you are in college, because the canteen food, the most expensive item in our Dayal Singh college canteen, it was of 60 rupees. The most expensive was 60, the least expensive was 10. You could get a cold coffee at 20. In this economy, where are you getting a cold coffee in 20 rupees with actual milk, not a mix of milk and water? Where are you getting it? Well, we were getting it. Ask me how I survived with those 3000 in the college. It was a lot of money back then. Now this costs more than 3000. This agency taught me a lot about the real world implementation of things, because how the real world was functioning, I had no clue about it. Like the people I was studying with, even they even didn't had a clue about what I am actually doing. They had no idea. And here I was learning about marketing, sales, HR, finance, accounts, and all that stuff. So at that time, after having these clients, the college information that I was getting about financial management, business studies, business law, all that stuff, like I'm a BCom honors and a MCom post grad. So at that time, these things made sense. Like the main reason I pursued MCom finance is because it was making sense to my business. So I just pursued it and got distinction and all that stuff. So that's how then it made sense when I started getting the money. Like 3000, you would be like, 3000, what would 3000 have taught you? It taught me a lot of stuff. A lot. Because initially these 3000, this matters. After a point, you get used to the money and all that stuff. But initially, all these things, they matter to a very great extent. As they say, the firsts are always hard, but it just gets easier with time because you are then getting immune and upskilling and upscaling as the time passes. So I'm sure you would have enjoyed the video. Now you have heard my experience. Now I want to know your first client experience, so that I also know like what were the problems you faced? How did it go actually? Or was I the only douche when it came to land my first client? Like, what was your experience? So write it down in the comment section. And if you want to start your writing career, watch this 20-minute video and you are all set. You don't need to watch anything else apart from it. So I'll see you in this video.